everybody, this is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm here with a preview of my next comic book. Before we get into that, just a quick reminder that Mighty Mascots number 10 still in demand at the printer now. And if you act quickly, once we start fulfilling, we're going to be putting one of these 5 sketch cards in random packages as they go out the door. No contest to enter. The only thing you need to do is have some kind of physical perk on the campaign that gets shipped to you, and this could get randomly inserted into your package. So check that out. And those are all 5 sketch cards by artist DC Miller. And back the campaign today. Also, PlasticCityComicCon happening Saturday, August 23rd. Free parking, kids 12 and under free, and admission is only $10. We have a lot of great guests lining up for the show, especially Philip Kennedy Johnson. How cool is that? We have our first Eisner Award winning, or Eisner nominated, I should say, writer joining us. And a lot of great people here that I'm excited to see. And look at all these, the vendor list goes on and on and on. So yeah, check it out. It's a great show for $10. Strong focus on comics and family and all that fun stuff. So check it out August 23rd. All right. So I thought I'd come on. I was trying to come up with an idea for a video, and I was like, oh, why don't I just talk about the next comic project I'm going to be doing after Mighty Mascots 10. I've talked on the live stream with Johnny and Harry a bunch about how I'd love to get 2 or 3 comics out this year. So I'm moving right into starting my next campaign as Mighty Mascots 10 is now off to the press. And so this series is called Kid Switch. It's a book I started actually before Mighty Mascots back in I want to say maybe 2015, 2016. It was supposed to be a 4-issue miniseries about a teenager who finds this glove that can do all these amazing things. And I actually produced the first issue with my friend Gazbot, who did the artwork on it and designed all the major components for the series, including all the characters, all the tech and the villains and everything. And basically he did the first issue, which came out great. And we actually published it and released it. We used to sell it at conventions all the time, but it went out of print probably somewhere after that. And then once Mighty Mascots started becoming popular, and now I hate leaving things unfinished. So I decided that my next book after Mighty Mascots 10 would be to go back and finally do Mighty Kid Switch number 2. And then what I'm probably going to do for the 3rd book, if I can get it out this year, is there's another project that's been burning a hole in my head that's trying to get out. So I might work on that one next. So we'll see if we can get all 3 of these out this year. It'd be great. I'd love to do 3 books a year, going forward if I can. I always definitely want to keep Mighty Mascots going. I always like to keep an issue or 2 of that coming out every year. And then also finish some of these other projects and start new ones. So, all right. So yeah, I thought I'd show you guys some, character design work and some preview pages of Kid Switch number 1 and all the work that we did on this first series and give you kind of like a synopsis of what the series is about. And this is the character sheet done by my good friend Gazbot, who actually has a comic coming out too, Horror A4. If you like kaiju stuff, check that out. I think he's bringing issue 3 to his Kickstarter, and we'll probably try to highlight that once that's live, so you guys can check it out. But he goes by Gazbot. He's a kid I went to school with at Joe Kubert School back in the mid 90s, and he's been making a go of it as a freelance artist and doing well. And he's worked on a bunch of comics, bunch of prints, character designs. I think he's even worked in animation for a little while. So, but back in 2016, this is what he designed for me. Now, this is the cast and crew of Kid Switch. We got the main character here, Joey Swick. His this girl he likes that you would love to have as a girlfriend, Lori Swanson. This is the dog Casey, named after my dog Casey at the time. Joey's mother and father and best friend Monty. And then the villain, Commander Skullguard, which we've changed the spelling to be more, it's, more vague, I guess, but yeah, no. And then over here we have Admin, the robot. And the premise on Kid Switch is basically this kid, Joey, who's a high school age, him and Monty actually find this glove in a junkyard, and the glove can breach multi dimensions. It's the multiverse kind of thing, but the twist on the multiverse thing is that the glove can, if you point the glove at any kind of object, let's say like a bottle or something, and you're able to switch it with a counterpart in an alternate dimension. So, sometimes the bottle's bigger, sometimes the bottle's different shaped, sometimes it's still plastic, so that's sort of the premise, is this glove can, change things, give you items from other dimensions. And when it's used against like animals and things like that, you can create more hideous animals. It could be like, things like that. It's great. So it's just an idea I had about like how can I do something different with the multiverse? And so that was what I came up with. Some of the other designs, this is more a, just like line drawing. This is a design of the glove itself. So as you'll come to find out in the series, that these gloves actually belong to these beings called Dimensioneers. And the Dimensioneers, their job is to keep, take things out of dimensions that don't belong. So like my theory was like stuff like Bigfoot and like ghosts and things like that. They don't belong in our dimension. They're actually from another dimension, and these beings go and they go into each different dimension and remove things. Kind of like the Exiles a little bit, the Marvel Exiles, where they fix broken, dimensions or timelines and things like that. This is a whole being, a whole group of beings that do this, called Dimensioneers. And Joey finds one of these Dimensioneer gloves in the junkyard, and that's how the adventure begins. And this is all different aspects of how the glove looks, all the different aspects on the glove interface, and then how it looks when it's put on your arm and things like that. So kind of looks like a Nintendo Power Glove a little bit. But right here, this little ball right here on the end is the admin robot that pops out when needed, and the admin robot will grow to the size of like a small dog, kind of like that Megatron thing when Megatron becomes a gun and he shrinks, and then he'll grow big when he turns back into the robot, kind of like that a little bit. So that's the glove. Now here's a closer look at our villain, Commander Skullguard. He is a being from an alternate dimension, but he's aware of all these dimensions and the Dimensioneer League. So he's after the glove because he wants to be able to conquer all these dimensions and be ruler. And one of the things about the Dimensioneer gloves, if you have both of them, you have the power to collapse dimensions. So Skullguard is that's what he's going to be trying to do. That's like his motivation, is to clean up and bring order to the universe. And of course, there's a bunch of Skullguard doppelgangers in the beginning of the first issue. He's actually being chased by one of his more evil counterparts from another dimension. And he has these weird weapons like a sword gun, and like his logo is this right here. It looks almost like a skull with like a axes on the side. Just very cool design that Gaz came up with. And I do like the look of this character, especially the warts on his head like that. So that's a look at the villain Skullguard. And then also, let's see what else I got here. This is a pinup that I had done by my artist friend, John Mills, who is a local artist here. He was actually going to do the second issue, but due to a bunch of family things going on, he can't commit to it. So I will probably be seeking a new artist for the second issue. But I love his work here, and this is a really cool image of the character Joey Swick with the glove. And I was kind of didn't want to make it too superhero-ish. I was like kind of looking at maybe like a Ben 10 kind of formula where it's like I love the teen heroes. So I was a big fan of like, Captain Marvel, Shazam. I always liked Billy Batson, and I like how he had the power to become like this superhero. And I'm thinking of other teen characters that I really like Impulse. I always kind of enjoyed like the kid characters, and then like how they power pack. I'm trying to think of other ones. But yeah, no stuff along that line where it's always interesting to see a younger kid or a teenager have to deal with saving the universe beyond all their problems. Peter Parker, the ultimate teenager character. So yeah, so that's really cool. And John Mills did a fantastic job with this pinup. Used it many times promoting the series back in the day. So, and then what else do we got here? This is a pinup by Frankie B. Washington, which some of you guys may know. First work we ever did together was this before we even conceived the Mascots together. I used to see Frankie at conventions all the time, and he always said, "Hey, if you ever need me to do something for you, let's talk." So I commissioned him to do this image or this pinup for Kid Switch, and came out so good. He nailed everything. Like admin looks so awesome here, and I love how when Joey and Commander Skullguard are clashing here, you can see in the energy all the different dimensions popping out there. I thought that came out so good. Energy crackle, and I even like how he did the skulls on Skullguard's shoulder pads here and stuff. So good stuff. And then let me see what else I got here. And I got some pages from issue number 1. I'll just show you guys this first sequence. This just kind of like shows you Skullguard popping into our dimension, the normal Earth dimension, I guess. And he's being chased by one of his doppelgangers, but you kind of don't know what's going on yet. And he's actually forced to leave one of the gloves here in the junkyard. So he was basically trying to escape his doppelganger. He already had a couple of the Dimensionaire gloves, but he was forced to leave one of them in this junkyard, and that's how our protagonist Joey Swick eventually finds this glove, and that's when the stuff hits the fan, so they say. But yeah, I don't want to go through it too much, but this is just some of the artwork and the lettering. So the first issue is pretty complete. I'll just be looking to hire a new artist for probably issues 2, 3, and 4. I do envision it as a 4-issue miniseries, and we'll probably be bringing the issues 1 and 2 to crowdfunding. So 1 is complete, but I do need to reprint it. I need to redo the cover to the more modern Reckless Sidekick trade dress that I've been doing for covers and things like that. Cover elements, price changes, things like that. And I do need to fix some of the lettering too. It's not perfect. It was back. I know so much more about lettering now than I did then when I was lettering. So I got to fix a bunch of it as well. But yeah, no, overall it's a fun book, and I always regretted not starting it and not finishing it. So now I'm finally going back, and I have up to issues 3 fully written. 4 is outlined. So all I have to do is kind of throw that script together, and then we can crowdfund 3 and 4 down the road. And then I can finally finish it and make a graphic novel of it, which is the plan, for the end of that. And then if there's enough of demand, I mean, it's going to be left wide open for more. So people like Kid Switch, maybe we could bring it back at some other point and do more with Joey Swick and his friends. But yeah, so check that out, everybody. I don't know when we're going to go live with that campaign. I'll try to probably have the pre-launch up in the next couple of months. I do want to find an artist so I can get a few pages done and in the can. That way we have them to show on the campaign, to show people that we're serious about bringing it to production and finishing it. And yeah, so any questions, definitely leave a comment. Love to hear what you guys think. And as always, like, subscribe, share, and join us on our live streams. And most importantly, read some comics. All right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.